Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Friday. You know what that means. I'm here again for our positive office referrals. Let's get started. First, we have Fiona from Mrs. Jones' room. Fiona has been showing great effort in all her work. She has participated in all our Zoom meetings and even shared her cat with us. Mrs. Brunette has referred Juliana for always going above and beyond for choice board activities along with excelling in Lexia. Warren G. has been referred by Mrs. Savageau for his hard work. Warren has been crushing goals on Moby Max, Lexia, and Epic Reading this week. Eric from Miss Mulrain's room has been referred for attending Zoom every day it is offered and enthusiastically participating. Kaylin from Mrs. Ballounis' class for doing an excellent job with her acrostic poem and for learning to ride her bike without training wheels. Miss Majidi has referred Kylie. Kylie has been actively engaged in her assignments and putting awesome effort into them. She is present in our weekly Zooms and always comes with a smile on her face. Miss Nelson is referring Cameron. Cameron has been working very hard and continues to take pride in his work. Chris has been working very hard completing all of his work on Google Classroom, so Mrs. Graves in 3rd grade is referring him for a positive office referral. Oliver from Miss McPhee's room has been engaged in remote learning since the very beginning and completing the assignments along with extra work on the websites. Ryan M. from Mrs. Reeves' class has been referred for a positive office referral by Mrs. Button. Ryan continues to complete and post artwork online and consistently participates in art discussions. Snake from Mrs. Reeves' class has been referred by Mrs. Morin. Snake goes above and beyond with his schoolwork, completes extra work on top of what we've assigned, and sends so many great pictures of his work to his teachers, not to mention his great participation in Zoom lessons. Elijah from Mrs. Brunette's room has attended all the Zoom meetings and has logged 275 hours on Lexia. Cooper from Mrs. Savageau's class has been referred for his hard work. He has been working extremely hard on Moby Max and Lexia this week. Chase C. from Mrs. Ballounis' class wrote a great acrostic poem this week. Riley G. from Mrs. Jones' class completes all her work and goes beyond in math activities. She has participated in every Zoom meeting we've had. Gabriel C. from Miss Majidi's class has had awesome participation in our weekly Zooms. He is putting great effort into his weekly assignments. Lila Y. from Miss Nelson's class has kept up her great work ethic and is doing a wonderful job. Mrs. Graves in 3rd grade has referred Lily for showing her creativity in her work on Google Classroom. Jocelyn F. from Mrs. Amodio's room was referred by Mrs. Button because she has a constant online participation in art discussions. Skylar from Miss McPhee's room has been engaged in remote learning since the very beginning and doing the assignments along with extra work on the websites. Austin B. from Mrs. Speck's class was referred by Mrs. Morin. Austin always attends small group Zoom lessons and he shows up prepared and ready to participate. He always offers insightful input to group discussions and even helps other students when they are stuck. Lily S. from Mrs. Laviolette is getting a positive office referral this week as well. She has consistently participated and shared her work from the remote learning assignments. Jaden B. from Mrs. Reeves' class has excellent participation in Google Classroom and great positivity during class Zoom meetings. Alina from Mrs. Berard's class is working hard from home on Lexia, Moby Max, and their weekly choice board. Nora M. from Mrs. Speck's class is always trying her best, no matter how challenging the work is. Warren gets another one. He's from Mrs. Savageau's class, but this time Mrs. Cooney has referred him for a positive office referral. Warren made a great rhyming verse to "There Ain't No Bugs on Me." Ryan M. has excellent participation in Google Classroom and great positivity during class Zoom meetings, so Mrs. Reeve has referred him for a positive office referral. Anthony R. from Mrs. Durant's class, because he has great work on Seesaw this week. Eric L. from Mrs. Speck's class has been working really hard on all of our assignments, so he gets a positive office referral this week. Reagan from Mrs. Landry's class receives one from Mrs. Cooney. Reagan has been working hard on all of the music activities. Uriah from Mrs. Berard's class is working hard from home on Lexia and Moby Max and attending weekly Zoom meetings. Allie G. from Miss Moraine's class has read 27 books on Epic and is a wonderful Zoom participant. Emma N. from Miss Durant's class, she's also had great work on Seesaw this week. Griffin G. from Mrs. Graves' class in first grade, Griffin consistently completes and returns assignments, comes to Zoom meetings, and has earned 6 certificates at home from Moby Max and Lexia. Miss Amodio has referred Callan because he continues to work hard in their Google Classroom. Gianna B. from Mrs. Gates has been actively engaged with her remote learning activities. She works hard to complete all her assignments in a creative and timely manner. Andrew B. from Mrs. Savageau's class gets a referral from Miss Masterson. Andrew was engaged during our Zoom meeting and has been doing a great job completing Google Classroom activities. Riley C. from Mrs. LeBlanc's class, excellent effort with remote learning from home. Mrs. Perrin has referred Mackenzie from Mrs. Brunette's class because Mackenzie has been showing her work and working hard in Zoom meetings. Caden P. from Mrs. Bean's room has been doing a great job with his work at home and coming to Zoom meetings. Olivia Lynn from Mrs. Laviolette's class is being referred for a positive office referral by Mrs. Perrin. She has been working hard in Zoom meetings. Emma G. from Miss Hester's class has a positive attitude and consistently attends Zoom meetings. Her love of learning is clear to see even when we can't be in school together. Kylie H. from Mrs. Kate's class has awesome participation during our Zoom class meetings. She has many insightful ideas to share. Hannah D. from Mrs. Ballounis' class was referred by Mrs. Perrin. Hannah continues to show work and works hard in Zoom meetings. Jax from Mrs. LeBlanc's class has participated in all remote learning activities. Mason G. from Mrs. Graves' first grade class eagerly participates in all Zoom meetings. He reads every day on Epic. Ava S. from Miss Amodio's class filled the pages in her writing journal. Jolene S. from Mrs. Bean's class is always positive and makes her friends and teachers smile. Nolan from Mrs. Graves' class in first grade was referred by Mrs. Perrin. He has been working hard in Zoom meetings. Taya from Miss Hester's class has been working hard on Prodigy and has held the top spot on their leaderboard for 2 weeks in a row. She has been creative and dedicated to all her assignments on Seesaw. Jackson B. from Mrs. Savageau has been referred by Miss Masterson. Jackson was engaged during our Zoom meeting and demonstrated good listening skills with his classmate. Boys and girls, I am so proud to see all of your work on Facebook, in your Google Classrooms. Some of you are using Seesaw. Please continue to work hard from home and know that we miss you and we can't wait to see you soon. Keep up the good work. Let's have a great weekend, and I'll see you again next week. Take care.